What's up? Let's see. And all right. Little technical difficulties to start the week. Here we go. What's up, everybody? It's Keefe, and you're watching another edition of ghostcultmag.com's Weekly Ritual, our weekly news show streaming everywhere on the web. I am coming to you from Portsmouth, New Hampshire. Every week, where in the world is Keefe San Diego is still an ongoing thing. What's up, Ghost Decibels? What's up, Sophie? On IG, people are checking in. What's up, TikTok? Here we are every week, no matter what, no matter where we are. My world tour continues. I should get shirts made. That'd be kind of funny. Hopefully, you guys can all hear me. This is the portable studio. Wherever I go, I have something going on. So yeah, this is what we do. This is the weekly show. Got my aesthetics going. It's pretty cool. Pretty happy about it. As we say every week, the best experience for this show is usually on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and X, Twitter, whatever the shit it is. And if you want to throw us a super thanks or some kind of donation, we appreciate it. There's a link in our description. Of course, you can throw us a super thanks or a super chat on YouTube. And, we bring you the show every week, no matter what. We're heading toward Labor Day weekend. It is officially Friday here on the East Coast, where I am typically on the West Coast, but I'm on the East Coast for a while. And let's get into it without further ado. Let's add in the deck. Every week I've been trying to experiment with this thing. And it's not quite the view I want. I think I want this one or that one. There it is. So we'll do that. There we go. All right. No, left, right. Okay, here we go. A little bit of me and a little bit of the information if you're on the right channel. Again, if you give us a donation or some kind of bump, I will promote your questions or theories or feedback to the top of the list. But we're here to generally inform you guys and help out wherever we can. So Eyes of Perdition is here. Hello, Eyes of Perdition. New music coming soon, I think, from Eyes of Perdition, if I'm not mistaken. So, what do we do here? This is Lay of the Land. Let's do the housekeeping. The first thing we do is the greeting. We're doing it right now. We are running a little late tonight, but no worries. Late every week, because that's what we do. So we give you the greeting. This is it. We do some major announcements and some housekeeping things like you see the meme. And then, let's see, we get into our features this week, major stuff we've done, interviews and things we want to call your attention to. Then we get into the festival news. There's a lot going on this weekend. There's a lot of stuff to talk about that just got announced. Then we got concert tours and one-offs. There's some major ones still ongoing and some new ones sprouting up all the time. Then we give you the top stories of the week. And then we do the new music out today, the New Music Friday action. We always have the New Music Friday post on our website that we share. We do a preview early in the week. We do a day of on Friday. There'll be a post up later on the site, but we'll give you a little rundown of it here. And then we do a little fun stuff from our mailbag. We bounce. It has been an interesting week, to say the least, for me, but I'm here and I'm still fighting. So I got multiple screens going, so if I'm not looking directly at you, I'm not insane. Maybe a little, but that's the story. Got the wrong date already. Still going along. So that was, here come the announcements. It is September 1st. Bernie Martin, legendary heavy metal guitarist, passed away right last week as we did the show. And Bernie is probably best known for his work with Whitesnake. He was a co-founding guitarist of Whitesnake with David Coverdale. He wrote many of their hit songs, including Fool for Your Lovin', and most notably, Here I Go Again. That's his main song and one of the biggest heavy metal anthems of all time. So you're just very sad that he passed away. Apparently he was ill for some time. And his family and his record label put out a statement. We were all pretty sad to hear about this. Also, Year of the Knife we've been following this story ever since it broke. You know, they were in a horrible van crash, and their singer and front person, Maddie Watkins, is still in all shapes of disrepair in a hospital in Salt Lake City. She has had many surgeries and tons of rehab, and you know, they're sharing out information as they can. This is really interesting. Here is, I'm going to kind of punch this up and read this. Actually, I think this is worth reading. So this is the update from the band. Make sure I can just get it there for you a second. Maddie is working really hard 2 times a day in occupational speech and physical therapy. She's already had surgeries to fix her broken jaw, facial fractures, both femurs, pelvis, and ankle. She has a fractured and broken just about every bone in her body. And she's working hard in PT, but still not able to sit up or stand on her own. We've been working on standing her on her right leg only. She can't put any weight on her left leg at all because of broken femur, pelvis, ankle, fractured tibia. This has been a challenge, just to be lifted out of bed into a sling to get her in a chair. Wires and bars removed from her mouth August 24th, and her trach removed finally on the 25th. So this is several months after the accident, and still just enabling her to eat soft foods for the first time since June 28th. And so other things are happening. Obviously, the most troubling and challenging the injuries is trauma to her brain. And there's some deeper details there. You know, this is ongoing. There's still a GoFundMe going for Maddie. And, you know, we're trying to support that. Give whatever you can, if you can. I know these are hard times for everybody out there. But it was just important to us to just keep promoting and supporting Year of the Knife and Maddie Watkins. So if you can give something, please do. And you know, we wish her the best for a speedy recovery. We'll continue to bring you updates on her condition as we learn more about it. You know, just again, want to give a shout out to Fine Chamois Records. Earlier this evening, I was on the phone with my boy Abe from Fine Chamois. We are still supporting the Solidarity Voices charity comp. You can check this out at the link in the description. Raising money and awareness for the Teamsters of San Francisco. In general, labor is always going to, you know, the forces of labor will always need to unite and fight. It's just a fact in my life. But shout out to Abe and Fine Chamois and all the cool stuff they're doing. We'll be bringing you more stuff with them in the future. You've heard me say this. I just adjusted my little TikTok phone right here, just so you all know. And yeah, in case anybody else wants to join, I'm just sharing stuff around here and there on my own. Share. But all right. In addition to Fine Chamois, clickety clack. This is the 4-year anniversary of the snap and the meme heard around the world. 4 years ago, Tool released their comeback, we call it a comeback record, but their finally long-awaited record after 13 years, Fear Inoculum. The biggest selling record of that year, the biggest selling rock record in ages in terms of physical copies, 250,000 or 60,000 physical copies of the album, which was actually the only way to get the full album. They did release it to streaming along with their entire discography one day right before the release. And we shared this meme. We didn't make this meme, but we shared this meme of Maynard James Keenan of Tool as Thanos snapping away Taylor Swift, because Taylor Swift released an album at the exact same time as Tool, and Tool knocked her out of the expected number 1 spot, sending her entire fan base of Swifties into a tizzy. It was pretty great if you're a fan of not pop music. But and no disrespect, Taylor's fine, but just it was really hilarious. And then Maynard shared our regrammed our gram and tweeted it, and it became like a pop culture thing. It went to every major pop culture website in the world. Our name was on it. I don't necessarily think it was a huge boost for us. It kind of was on our socials. So if you were here because of that originally, thank you for still being here if you're somehow here 4 years later. But you know, thank you, Maynard, for sharing that thing. It's like one of our more viral moments ever as a thing since 2012. So very cool. And yeah, still a kick-ass record. I went back and listened to it this week, and I was like, man, this thing holds up. I'm obviously biased as a Tool fan, but yeah, I love this record. Pretty killer. So moving right along. So yeah, once again, we got to the 4,000 mark on YouTube. So a lot of people are here on YouTube, and thank you for being here. And we really appreciate it. It's pretty killer that we got to 4,000 users, and we don't take it for granted. Oh, Rob is here. Yeah. Where in the world is Keefe tonight, Evil Rob? I'm in Portsmouth, New Hampshire. I was supposed to be back in New York City tonight, but the world got in the way. What can I say? And so I'm in New Hampshire tonight. I'll be back in New York tomorrow. In New York for a minute or so, week and a half before I go to Riot Fest. So all good in the hood there. Just a rundown. We're on all the social channels, X, whatever. Don't care about it. Threads, still not really doing anything with it. Is anybody on Threads? Let me know if you're posting there. I only know a couple of people that are really posting on the Threads channel. I really don't see them. I work in social media, and I don't really see a lot of value in having another Twitter. It's really annoying, actually, but oh well. So, yep. We are on Discord. We are on Reddit. If you want to skip some of these social networks and not rely on them to deliver your news, you can sub to us on Reddit or Discord and just get an immediate feed of all our posts on our website and all our videos and social stuff like this. That's important. I think it's important. Portsmouth is beautiful. I had dinner at a brewery tonight. Yeah, man. Just amazing. I had a hot chicken sandwich and a beer, looking at boats. Like, it's cool. I didn't even really photograph it. I just kind of just lived in the moment and enjoyed it. It was a pretty stressful week, actually, for me. So yeah. Not wearing my evil hat, Rob hat tonight. My Reverend Mean Tooth hat. Shout out to 20 Watt Tombstone and Reverend Mean Tooth. But anyway, I'm also on Twitch. Maybe you're watching this on Twitch. I'm not sure. But if you're watching this on Twitch, give us a follow. We could use it. All right, this is pretty funny. Tried that in a small town. We go hard on these memes. This is pretty great. I don't know. I never heard of Jason Aldean before this bullshit, so I don't really know who he is. If you're a fan, let me know. I have no idea who he is. I don't think he was that big a deal. But what? So features this week, that's what the meme means. We ran part 2 of our interview with Brendan Small of Death Clock, Metalocalypse. They have a new movie out. They have 2 new albums out. And we did a 2-part interview series. Our own co-owner and my partner, Omar Cordy, interviewed Brendan. And the second part of the interview is all about Death Album 4. The Bulldog is here. The Moonkill Band is here. I'm just trying to welcome everybody as they come in. You're watching our Rock and Metal News show, wherever you are in the world. Thanks for being here. So we're talking about stuff we did this week before we go on to the major news. So we did this interview with Brendan Small. Oh, lost the light. Oh, well. That's pretty great. What are you going to do? Oh, TikTok. There we go. Insta. I had too much leaning on the light there. It was pretty funny. It's live, folks. That's how you know it's live. It works. It works. All right. Give me a second. Yep, that's what we're doing. We're just making noise. All right. Going off the rails on this crazy train. All right. Here we go. That's better. All right. Okay. All right. Good enough. That's amazing. So I interviewed Brendan Small. I'll move this away. Mitch the Clown is here. Fall of Leviathan is here. Y'all missed the hilarity of me knocking over my shit there a minute ago. But okay, whatever. We're still rocking and rolling. Let's do this. We also interviewed, I'm going to probably mispronounce this, so we'll just say John of Black Braid. Cigar Sawa. Black Braid's been in the news a lot lately, but we did this interview a while ago before the controversy at Midgard's bloat. John is a thoughtful, intense artist. I don't think he really envisioned that Black Braid was going to become this big thing. And even though they have a tour coming up this fall with Wolves in the Throne Room and Garia, however you say their name also, I think, he cast some doubt about how much he wants to tour, but really, got deep on American black metal and obviously his cultural influences, but we mostly focused on the music. And I feel really thankful having watched this artist develop over a long period of time. It's pretty cool that we got to chat with him. So shout out to Katie Irizarry of Suspiria PR for setting that up for us. We really appreciate you. Also, we ran our interview with Anders Odden of Cadaver. I don't know if you know the name Anders Odden. You should. He's one of the most important and influential artists in all of death metal and black metal. He is a member of Satyricon. He was an original first wave, second wave black metal artist. Cadaver's been around forever. Just put a new record out. And we did a track by track breakdown of that brand new album, talked about some black metal history and Inferno Festival coming up in the spring that he's a part of. So pretty fun there. All right. And also we interviewed Nathan Garrett of Spirit Adrift. Spirit Adrift's new album, A Ghost at the Gallows, is out now. We also ran our review of that album this week. Caught up on that one, but a great interview with Nathan. I've actually followed him since he was a member of Pallbearer. He was an early member of Pallbearer and kind of left to do Spirit Adrift. He was also a Gatecreeper. So this guy's immensely talented and great, and just a real cool guy. And Spirit Adrift is on some amazing heavy metal, trad metal, thrash metal stuff right now. So it's definitely worth checking out. That new album's killer. Definitely one of my favorites of the year. Jay Wong 2015 is here. No, I don't really take guests in our videos, Jay Wong. I appreciate you asking, but no. Unless somebody from my team showed up and they wanted to be in the video, then in which case, yeah, that's what's up. Anyway, this is a fun photo of me at Sick New World Fest interviewing Sonny Sandoval of POD. We aired that interview on the Ghost Cult Magazine podcast, which is also a thing. And Kevin Horizon is here. Great name, Kevin Horizon. So Sonny of POD dropped some knowledge on us about stuff he's doing in and outside of POD. POD rocked the stage that day. Brand new album on the way with some tremendous guests. You got to check out the pod to hear which ones. But definitely, surprising guest appearances on the new POD that's coming out in probably 2024 at this point, unless it's late in the year. He's got a side thing going on, sort of a unscripted show where he travels around the world, him and his manager, and they tattoo people and then interview them. So I think that's really cool. And he's awesome. POD is one of the most successful bands ever. Nick Deviser is here on Instagram. If you have a cool name or a cool band, I'm going to shout it out. I'm going to shout it out loud. So it's me and Sonny at POD in my Sunday Fun Day shirt. Once again, we are always repping the Heavy Business Podcast, brought to you by C-Squared Marketing and PR. I was talking to my dude Abe from Fine Chamois today, and he was shouting out the podcast and how interesting it was and how valuable it was. And they do give away a lot of value for free. I'm an occasional guest host, but most importantly, check out every episode of the show. They interview people in the business, in bands, management, other roles in the music industry to help your band do better. Ultimately, that's the goal. So I think that's pretty cool. And I'm glad to sometimes come on and lend my knowledge, usually about music marketing, but a host of other topics like journalism and other things bands can do to help themselves. So, yep, there's the Ghost Cult Magazine podcast logo, always brought to you. Our logo refresh a couple of years ago, and our Ghost Cult podcast logo brought to you by Sludgework Meg. If you're looking for some awesome, creepy, black and white pen and ink work, Sludgework Meg is the jam. She's great. And we're super glad to support that artist. And again, Heavy Business Podcast, Ghost Cult Magazine Podcast. wherever you listen to podcasts. This show will be a podcast. Conventive Horizon says, I was selling CDs in the early O's as a kid, asked me for POD, and I thought he asked you for peyote. That's amazing. Yeah, POD, payable on death. They were a hardcore band. They were a skate punk hardcore band in San Diego before the new metal thing. Sonny just happens to be really good at rapping and singing. And, I still mess with some of that Southtown and, some Youth of the Nation's a jam. So some bops. That band put out some great hits. So, we got those podcasts. And because I don't have enough work to do, I'm also the co-host of the Glacially Musical Podcast, like Pour a Beer. Beer, metal, and swearing. We do runs of great bands. We talk about craft beer. We nerd out about vinyl collecting. And this week, we continue our series on Cannibal Corpse with the third album by Cannibal Corpse, Tomb of the Mutilated. Is it awesome? Is it mid? Does it stand up and hold to the test of time? Listen to the podcast and find out. It's live tonight. It went live on the Glacially Musical channel tonight. So you check that out. Also just want to shout out our affiliate partner, Merch Bar. You are a metalhead or a rocker. You got the metal hats, the shirts, the banners, the flags, the patches, the pins, your battle vests, your all your things, all your little tchotchkes. Merch Bar is your one-stop source. And if you use our affiliate link for Merch Bar, you get a permanent discount with them every time you use that link. So if you're going to buy that merch anyway from the band, why not buy officially licensed merch and get it right from the source? Money goes to the bands. We get a little money back too if you use our link. Hey, Royal Flush Gal is here. I have actually been in New York. Royal Flush Gal, I hope you are well. You are awesome, and I've had some good times hanging out with you and following your work and your career. So I hope you're doing well. And I'll be in New York again, New York area briefly for the beginning of September. So anybody who wants to get at me and hang, let me know. I'll be at a couple of shows, and then I'm going to escape until next time. But anyway, that's merch bar, vinyl, CD, shirts, hats, the whole shebang, man. Do the thing. All right. That's all the early stuff, all the housekeeping and admin out of the way. And, features from Ghost Cult. Now it's time for music festivals. And there's a couple this weekend I think you want to know about. I drink my Polar Seltzer. And it's quite terrific. So RPM Fest is this weekend in Millers Falls, Montague, Massachusetts, Millers Falls Gun Club in Western Massachusetts. We are one of the sponsors of the fest. It's tremendous. King Parrot, Moontooth, Black Tusk, so many killer bands. And it's going to be a blast. We were leaving flyers around at record stores in Maine and New Hampshire this week, and actually got sent just recently. We have a giant banner as one of the sponsors with our logo on it, which is really cool. So I definitely encourage people to check it out. If you found out about RPM because of this show, what's my version of Western Mass, like Pittsfield, Springfield, Adams, you know what I'm saying? Berkshires, bro. Berkshires. Ben Self is here. What's up? I don't know who runs that account, but I hope it's who I think it is. Welcome. So yep, that's my version of what's my favorite song like ever. Boy, that's hard. What's my favorite metal song ever? Oh, that could be a lot of things. Probably Master of Puppets till to this day. That's like the best riff of all time. Not because of Stranger Things. Like I've been a Metallica fan since 1984, 85. And my favorite song ever is probably like the Rain Song by Led Zeppelin, which is, I know, again, very, commercial, but I love that song. You always have. All right, moving along. Another festival this week is the Born Dead Clothing Born Dead Fest in Albany, New York. Hatebreed, Bleeding Through, Madball, and Integrity. I wish I was going to this. This looks like so much fun. And looks like it's going to be a blast. And yeah, that's killer. Born Dead Clothing should do more stuff like this. I have a feeling it's going to go great. Warman Music is here. Welcome. What's up? What's up? Always got great content. Thank you so much, Ben Self. We really try. We try to do all the things. It's really hard to do all the things every day. But yeah, greetings for two. Are you from Western Mass? Since you asked, I'm curious. I lived in Boston for 10 years and New Hampshire for 1 year, and I spent quite a bit of time in Western Mass. So, you know, I know people don't know what's what, but I do. Okay, moving right along. RPM Fest, Born Dead Fest, and then Rocklahoma is next week. Godsmack, Limp Bizkit, Pantera, Rob Zombie. Wow, Limp Bizkit's like their first show in a minute. They played a little bit here and there, but they haven't been doing much since they canceled their whole tour. But Limp Bizkit be, definitely one of the headliners, the day 2 headliner of Rocklahoma this year in Oklahoma, Pryor, Oklahoma. Also this weekend, sort of a festival, a 2-day festival, the Capulet Entertainment Back to School Fest is next weekend with Crown the Empire, The Word Alive, who has new music coming out, In Spirit, which is the band that is made up of mostly members of the band that was formerly Vanna, without the troublesome, problematic lead singer, and Active Observer. So what a cool show. We recently interviewed the founder of Capulet Entertainment, Esteban Vega, about Capulet Fest, which was over the summer, July 1st weekend. So definitely worth checking that out. Maybe we'll link that interview in the description because worth talking about and checking out. Hello, Toy Cannon 2012. Boy, this light doesn't want to cooperate today, huh? It does not want to hang. All right, that's better. Anywho, Riot Fest is coming up in 2 more weeks. It's hard to believe. In 2 more weeks, we will be in Chicago checking out all the things. We've covered the festival 3-4 years in a row. This is my first time going. That's also going to be my birthday weekend, so I'm looking forward to having a great time in Chicago. Some of my favorite bands ever are playing. And Foo Fighters, Turnstile, Postal Service, Death Cab for Cutie, Not Too Crazy About, Queens of the Stone Age, The Cure, Mars Volta, Code Orange, Mr. Bungle, Gorilla Biscuits, Quicksand, and Rival Schools, all 3 Walsh Rifles bands, and so many more. Plosives, Thursday, just like a lot of killer bands, Fake Names. So we're going to be checking out all the things. And I'll be interviewing some bands there. So I'm really looking forward to it. And shout out to Randall Hicks, who'll be covering that with me for Ghost Cult. He's a great photographer in the Chicago area. And they put out their daily lineups of the festivals, and there's some unfortunate clashes for me. But mostly a pretty good job. There's always going to be some clashes at every festival. If you're a festival goer, you know the pain of some clashes. These things do happen. They do happen. So anyway. Alrighty. Also, Prophecy Fest is coming up soon in a cave in Germany, and they released their running order. And again, this thing looks mind-blowing. One of these years, I need to get out to this part of Germany for this festival. Prophecy Productions has a tremendous roster of bands we're always covering here at Ghost Cult. And this festival is the cream of the crop for them. So very cool. Let's see what else. Desert Fest New York is just a few weeks away. Headlined by Monster Magnet. Project Deformity is on this. Looks tremendous. We should be out there again covering it this year once again. Ripple Fest has announced Berlin. Ripple Fest Berlin, 2 shows in Germany. One in Cologne and another in Berlin. And these look like some pretty killer bands, not just bands on the label, but stoner doom and doom metal and psychedelic rock bands, as you would expect from Ripple. Also, Sonic Temple and Incarceration Festival, 2 Danny Wimmer festivals, have announced their dates and on early bird ticket sales for those festivals for the summer, late spring and early summer of 2024. And so they put a combo ticket on sale. The Sonic Pass, where you could go to both. I think it's kind of fun. you know, if you love this music and you love this scene, you will buy tickets sight unseen with no lineup and no knowledge of who's going to play. I think it's pretty fun. I think it's pretty fun. All right, that was all the festivals. Now we will get into the concerts. And this is going to go pretty rapid fire. Stylio. Let's do it. So Metallica, week 5 of the Metallica M72 World Tour. They broke records in LA, broke Taylor Swift's record. And then of the most fans ever at SoFi Stadium. They continue this coming week in Phoenix, Arizona, by the time I get to Phoenix. And yeah, Metallica keeps on rolling. If you've been checking out their YouTube channel, they're dropping pro shop videos of some of the tracks. They have now played a song, thanks to my Glacially Musical podcast host, Nick Cameron, dropping this little knowledge bomb on me. Metallica has now played a song off of every record, every proper record, no Lulu, no S&M, but they've played a song off every record now on this tour. So I think that's pretty great. Not every band can do that. Kicked off this week, the Freaks on Parade tour. Rob Zombie, Alice Cooper, Ministry, and Filter, I believe. Filter's got a brand new album out. Ministry just announced their new album, so pretty great. 2 European tours that just got announced. Cult of Luna has announced dates for later this year, as well as Earn, who just dropped a brilliant new album. We'll be dropping our Earn interview next week with Joe. Great band. Also, The Used has announced the European and UK tour. It's probably their first tour of Europe in a while. So they're heading over there with some killer openers. That's coming up in a few weeks. Next month, basically. All right, Phil Campbell and the Bastard Sons also with a new album out this week. They've announced an extensive tour for 2023 and early 2024, so got to check that out. Phil Campbell of Motorhead. He basically plays very similar Motorheady rock and roll. Of course he would. Of course he does. That's what you do. Okay. What else? So Alice in Chains is kicking off a headline tour pretty soon, and they have announced Royal Thunder is the direct support. We just interviewed them. They have a brand new album out, Rebuilding the Mountain on Spine Farm Records. Royal Thunder is incredible. Melanie Parsons, incredible vocalist, one of the best singers in the whole damn world, in my personal opinion. And yeah, what a great a great thing for this band to get to open for AIC. So not too shabby, Royal Thunder. We are proud of you. Yeah. All right. Alrighty. Moving along. Let's see. Machine Head. We told you last week they announced a bunch of dates for Mexico, Central, and South America. They added an additional Mexico City date. They just celebrated the 1-year anniversary of Kingdom and Crown, which was the Ghost Cult magazine album of the year for last year. And all things blowing up for Machine Head. They will be playing Blue Ridge Rock Festival in a week or two, so that's pretty big. They don't do a lot of festivals in America. They did play the Milwaukee Metal Fest, so that's pretty big. Also another opportunity to see Dark Angel play their Darkness Descends set in tribute to their late guitarist Jim Durkin. They have announced another show in the Pacific Northwest with that gig, so definitely go check it out. I saw that concert. It was pretty amazing. Oh, Bitter Loss Records shut down. That is a bitter loss. But thanks, Omar Cordy, popping into the chat on YouTube, the co-owner of Ghost Cult. Good to see you. Sorry, I'm not there in person doing this. I was supposed to be at the HQ in New York doing this show, but alas, I'm not. Look at this fun hotel room. The room is fun. Look at this wallpaper. It's crazy. It's like woodsy. All righty. I don't do a lot of breaking news on this show, but yeah, Bitter Loss Records, that's a bummer. Spanish Love Songs, who just put out their new album, No Joy, has announced the European tour, live in Europe. So you definitely want to check that out. Coming up late in the year and early next year. Also, Poppy and Paris have announced the co-headline tour, and I think they're doing a live stream on Beeps, both with pretty killer new albums out. That's pretty fun. two great albums, especially that Paris record was tremendous. Big fan. Quicksand, in addition to playing Riot Fest coming up in a few weeks, they have announced their Slip 30th anniversary tour, and they're gonna go out on the road and do a headline tour of this as well. And yep, see you soon. See you tomorrow. Goat Horse kicking off another leg of their tour. Their recent album, Angels Hung from the Arches of Heaven, is out now on Metal Blade. They're just tireless tour dogs. We're going to cover that tour as well. Pretty excited about it. Let's see what else. Ghost. I don't know if you guys are following Hurricane Idalia. It's kind of out to sea now, but obviously our thoughts are with the people of Florida, and South Carolina, North Carolina, Georgia. We have many friends in the area, and Ghost canceled 2 shows in Florida on their tour with the Monomarth, as well as a South Carolina show. Some of their gear was damaged from travel during the storms, which is kind of a bummer if you like Ghost. Hoping they can reschedule those dates, but you just don't know. Okay, here's Bad Wolves. Here's another, I think this is the last story of the tour dates. Bad Wolves has been forced to suddenly and abruptly drop off of their tour. They were about to kick off a huge tour with Asking Alexandra and The Who, the Mongolian metal band. And I know Doc has been on tour with Ice Nine Kills, and maybe they couldn't get a kind of temporary replacement for him because Doc is on tour with Ice Nine Kills opening for Metallica. But yeah, Bad Wolves bummed out that they dropped off the tour, but hopefully they get to make it up to fans and, get booked on something else soon. All right, that was all the festivals and tours. Now let's quickly run through the news and talk about the big stories of the week. Red alert, y'all. Job for a Cowboy in a story Ghost Cult first brought you a year and a half ago that they were coming back eventually. They dropped their first new song. It is killer. They will announce a whole new album for early 2024 really soon. They dropped the song in a video. Tell me what you thought of it if you're here and you heard it. They're also playing Blue Ridge Rock Festival. And I'm just so thrilled for these guys to make a big comeback. I'm not sure yet who the drummer is. A lot of speculation. I don't think it's John the Charn Rice. I think it's someone else, but pretty fun that this band made a comeback and has a whole record ready to go. It could have been an EP. It could have been just a handful of singles, but it's a full album. So I think that's really exciting. It's good for metal. And that's the artwork for their single. That was pretty awesome. All right. Here is I Am, the doom metal supergroup with members of Typo Negative, Crowbar Down, etc. They have announced their second single is coming later this fall. Actually, I think it's right around Black Friday. And pretty excited about that. I know they're doing some big meet and greet contest over at Metal Injection. They don't shout out our competition. Goth Kitty is here. Hi, Goth Kitty. And hi, Doomsday Graphics. Hello. I'm doing my show wherever I am in the world. And tonight it is New Hampshire. Adam Noise Talk is here. What's up? Yep. So yeah. Yep. I got sidebarred, but yeah, this is pretty cool. I had the name of it here a second ago. Clack. Sorry, everybody. Not to do clickety clacks while I'm doing the show. Second. Oh, here we go. Cryptomnesia. Cryptomnesia. Somebody help me out and tell me how to say this name. But I love the first song. Dreams Always Die with the Sun. Was kind of like exactly what you imagined. Crowbar riffs with like psychedelic rock vocals. Kenny Hickey on lead vocals like he does in his band Silvertomb. Tremendous heavy doom metal song. I expect this to be about the same. They are putting out kind of a track at a time right now. Shout out to Corpse Paint Records for putting this out. And then I believe we will get a full-length album in 2024. I did do an interview with Johnny Kelly of Typo Negative and I Am and Quiet Riot and sometimes Danzig a while back. And he was giving us the scoop on how that band came together. So kind of fun. Kind of fun. I think it's fun. All right, back to the deck. And let's see. This is a shocker. This just dropped right before the show. 18 Visions has teamed up with Lamb Goat. Our friends at Lamb Goat have restarted Lamb Goat Records, and they have announced the Purgatorio EP and a new track, This Machine. So there are exclusive variants and some international vinyl. And 18 Visions, man, original OC metalcore band, came up at the same time as Avenged Sevenfold and other bands of that, Atreyu, all from the same area. And 18 Visions might have been the first band actually from that whole scene to really, make their mark. And this is the second in a series of 3 releases based on Dante Alighieri's classic, The Divine Comedy, classic work of literature. And they got a bunch. The pre-orders are live now. This track is out now. I haven't heard it yet, but it looks cool. And there's a 10-inch vinyl, single, EP, digipack, cassette tapes, long sleeve shirts, splatter vinyl, and some definitely different configurations. This is definitely going to be something I'm going to check out. Definitely going to check it out. Word. So 18 Visions is back again. A lot of hype for 18 Visions. I wouldn't be surprised if they pop up on a bunch of music festivals next year. Just saying, because that's how it's usually done. All right. So there's a lot of reissues coming up. So not only do we have a lot of new music, there's a lot of reissues getting announced. Seven Dust has announced the 7 of Seven Dust 7 LP box set. It's not their earliest stuff, which I wish it was, but it's actually their more recent albums, like the last 10 years. And it's all killer stuff. Some has never been on vinyl before. There's also some bonus tracks. Big Seven Dust fan here. Hereford is here. Hello. Or TH Hereford. I'm not sure which one it is. But Seven Dust is a box set they just announced. There's a few more we'll talk about in the course of the show. Also, Queensryche is putting out a book with Ross Halfin, the famed rock photographer. You've seen pictures of Metallica from the last 30 years, or Guns N' Roses, or Iron Maiden, or Black Sabbath. It was probably Ross Halfin that took them. He's also extensively photographed Queensryche. So this book is coming out. It's like a coffee table book, similar to his books with Metallica. I got to meet him one time. It was very intimidating, and I really couldn't even speak. I was just like, Ross Halfin. Wow. I can't even imagine shooting with him. I know Evil Rob, who was here earlier, shot with Ross Halfin. It just blows my mind. Blows my little mind. I think Omar did too. All right. Speaking of Tool, we talked about Tool a little earlier. Maynard James Keenan has his vineyards in Arizona, Caduceus Cellars and Merkin Vineyards, and they are now opening a huge facility that shoppers can come to, and you can, there's a restaurant, and it's like a whole thing. It's just an extension of everything he's been doing with the brands and the wine, like a little Italian spot for tapas and little dishes, and a wine store, obviously, and a wine shop and wine tours. So I just think they're just going all in on that. And I've said before, I always feel like every Tool tour and thing could be the last thing they do, because Maynard would rather make wine than make Pussifer music. And The Perfect Circle is kind of off and on. And I feel like his future is this wine and Pussifer, because it's something, you don't have to do it hard all the time. You can do it as you need to around the wine season. But we got a big Tool tour coming up. Speaking of box sets, Wasp has announced this huge box set of their classic early Columbia Records albums. So this is all their early, if you love the heavy metal of Wasp. I just saw Wasp last year. We covered them twice, both in the UK and here in the States. They did cancel their current tour, but they will rebook for 2024 when Blackie Lawless' back is healed up. In the meantime, this vinyl box set is coming out. and it looks pretty killer if you're a big fan of Wasp and the 80s metal. Also, Gore continues to not just tour behind their album New Dark Ages, but Gore is always doing fun things for their fans, like auctions of merch and stuff, like this authentic odorous mask that he wore on stage once. You can check all this out at gore.com. I'm a fan. Hey, from Lexington, Kentucky. What's up? What's up? And Marius Arcioni, I hope I said that correctly. Arcioni, maybe you're Italian, I'm not sure, but hello and welcome. Word to the bird. I wish I didn't have to talk about this 2 weeks in a row. Again, folks, like, just because you have a platform, and I have a platform, so I understand that this could be seen as hypocritical. Just because you have a platform doesn't mean you have to give an opinion on every little thing. You could just do your music and not have an opinion about every single little thing. So, in addition to people like old, out of touch people who I used to respect, like Alice Cooper and Dee Snider and such, shooting their mouths off about stuff they don't understand. Here's Thy Art is Murder. We know CJ said a lot of horrible anti-trans things, and then he tried to take it back, and the internet would not let him take it back, so he deleted all his socials. And then the band kind of put up just a trans flag and said, we support you, and we're with you. That's not enough, you guys. Can't just have hollow sentiments. You gotta say some stuff, I don't even want to talk about this stuff. I get demonetized by talking about this stuff. We were, I put in a story. I don't put in a story. YouTube kind of gives us a hard time about it. We're doing the news. So I am, Thy Art is Murder has a huge album coming out. For a record label, we do a lot of stuff with. I don't want to talk about this stuff. Don't be a Nimrod. If you keep your opinions to yourself. We don't have to know what you think about everything. Corey Taylor included, everybody, Anyway, not my favorite topic to talk about. I'd much rather talk about music or anything else. That's me. Alrighty. Let's see. News of Friday. It means we're almost to the end of the show, everybody. Let's run down. It's starting to get to the real nitty-gritty album releases of the year. This is a huge week of albums. I still have a few more new reviews to post, but let's see. We've got the Alt Black Era Freak Show EP. Black Birch is this incredible anti-fascist atmospheric black metal EP on our friend's label, Barry Ant. Outer Gods on Prosthetic Records has their new album out, A Kingdom Built Upon the Wreckage. This is pretty crushing. Phil Campbell, as I mentioned. Polaris, lose the guitar player tragically who passes away. But their new album's crushing. It's such a good record on Sharp Tone Records if you like genty progressive metalcore. Rock Band from Hell. I keep hearing about this band, but I'm not too boned up on them. Silent Skies is the side project from Thomas England of oh gosh, I'm brain farting because I'm tired. Evergrey. Sorry. A band I've only interviewed like 3 times. So Thomas's side band is Silent Skies. Pretty cool. Slow Dive, legendary band. Everything is Alive, new album out now. Soen Memorial. We have an interview coming up next week, I believe, with Martin Lopez of Soen. Killer progressive metal band. Undergang. Cannot say this name, but sort of another interesting underground avant-garde heavy band. Very cool for the longest time they've been around. I cannot say this name, but that's just some of the new releases. A huge week for new music. And, we have already reviewed more albums this year, I think, than all last year. So it's all in the plus column from here on out. And these weeks are going to get very heavy with new music the next few. There's some major ones coming out this month, like Baroness and Ken Mode and stuff like that. And we'll probably be bringing you a new podcast next week from my senior editor, Steve Tovey from the UK, who manages our writing team. and he and I usually get together and chop it up. I'm kind of traveling. He just came back from holiday, so I hope we get together this weekend and do a recording. But normally we do one a month where we preview the upcoming new music and kind of review the past stuff that we've reviewed. So very fun and very cool. That's the new music. One last thing in sort of semi-related topics. Funko put out an exclusive Aussie Funko this week with eBay. And this is kind of like the frilly vest, torn up clothes Aussie from the early 80s. So I think this is a lot of fun. And a suite is here. Hello, hello. So yeah, Ozzy's got a new Funko. I know Funko was in some trouble not too long ago, struggling with their inventory and maybe, not sure what to do because they've made so many of these things, but I still like these things. And then speaking of Ozzy, it's time for the mailbag. I love this meme here, black metal fans. Feel bad for you, and then power and thrash metal fans, I don't even know who you are. It's pretty fun. Pretty accurate. I don't know if anybody here watching this ever watched the TV show Mad Men. I did because I'm in advertising and marketing, so it kind of spoke to people of a certain profession. John Hamm is an awesome actor. Enough said. But anyway, speaking of Ozzy, here's a picture of Ozzy in concert, and we have the mailbag segment this month, and instead of the mail, because I'm on the road, I went record shopping, and I got this awesome thing here. I went to probably the best known music store in Maine and New Hampshire, Bull Moose, right? I've been hearing about this place for years. I never really got to them when I lived here, so I'm back here visiting, and I went to Maine last week and New Hampshire tonight, and I got to visit Bull Moose, and I picked up this awesome thing. I picked up some vinyl that I shared somewhere else, but I wanted to share this. I don't often buy CDs, but check out this Ozzy Patient Number 9 vinyl. It's not vinyl. It's a CD set with the special Todd McFarlane variant comic book. So I don't know which one it is or what the cover is. I got to open it to find out because they're all different. So I'm going to open this guy up. It's kind of in this cool thing. It almost looks like what should be a vinyl in it, like a vinyl single. I normally don't open them on camera, but just like that, there we go. And yeah, let's, where is this thing open? Oh, it's perforated. I literally have to open it from the, like tear it open. Wow. All right, I guess we're doing this thing. You can hear it. You can hear me opening it. Yep, I'm stoked, man. I love me some comics. Trying to wave at you, Adrian, say 17. I love Todd McFarlane. He's drawing some of my favorite stuff ever. Shout out to Image Comics. Oh, here we go. So, all right, that's cool. Again, here's the cover, just so everybody can see it across the different things. And then here we go. It's got, oh, look at this. Here we go. So we got the CD inside this plastic. So we'll also open. And there's the Patient Number 9. I think the light's going to not do it some justice. Kind of like Ozzy looks like Blackie Lawless a little bit here. But, okay. I know they went to Comic-Con last summer and signed these comic books along with the record. So this was actually probably what they sold to the people who went to the signing. If you went to the signing and you're watching this, let us know. So here's the Ozzy Patient Number 9 CD, which, I necessarily didn't need to own, but like cool nonetheless. And then here is, here's a card, just Patient Number 9, like a backing card with the Ozzy logo. And then, nope, none of these work. Here's the comic. Todd McFarlane, limited edition, Ozzy Patient Number 9. It looks really cool. Let me see if I can turn the pages for you so you can appreciate this a little. I don't know how well this is coming up on camera or on these phones, but got like a cool comic book smell. I'm so weird. Chemicals. And here's a cool back cover of Ozzy. That's like a classic photo of Ozzy from the 90s, right? But this cover is very cool. It's like zombies trying to kill and tear up Ozzy. I'm a big fan of zombies. I'm looking forward to the Daryl Dixon Walking Dead series. I don't know if anybody here is still a fan of The Walking Dead. I am. I thought Dead City was a lot of fun. Now I'm presently watching Ahsoka on Disney Plus. So that is my mailbag segment with my Ozzy Patient Number 9 CD and special comic book. It's like $20. Absolutely worth it. There was no shortage of them. There was a lot of them. So that's pretty cool. And that's the show. So thanks for tuning in. I can't believe I did this. It's 2:23 in the morning as we finish this. If you're watching this on the replay, thanks so much. If you managed to stay through this whole thing, and some of you have, you are real ones, and I really appreciate you. Why not give us a like, a follow, a subscribe if you haven't already? Every little bit helps. And as we say at this juncture of the show every week, it's a tough time in the world, so please take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Stay as metal as humanly possible. Have a safe and happy and fun Labor Day weekend if you're celebrating here in America, everywhere else in the world. Be cool, enjoy, take care of yourselves, hydrate, all that good stuff. Thanks for being here, and we are out.